Trying to impress? No. That's favor. I'm blessed.
What's the deal? You're now rocking with the best. It's the Remnant. You are in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous and Shantana, and DJ Jeremiah. Holler.
Yeah, you back in the field with the Trackstarz. Shantana, DJ Jeremiah, Ryan Righteous here. And basically, man, we were just kind of talking about this in the entertainment report, and it seemed like it was a good way to segue into a topic. Are we fooling ourselves?
Yeah.
That was good. Now, you actually brought up how we're fooling ourselves. Why don't you go back to that?
Okay. So basically what I was talking about, and this is hard to say because, I mean, are we fooling ourselves? You know, this Trackstarz thing, FMG, Jada. I wonder sometimes if we say we're doing more than we actually are doing. And I've been doing ministry for 11 years now. I started doing destinations when I was 19. So I've been doing ministry for a while. And if I'm honest with myself, most of the people that I feel like I've helped with what I've done seem to be Christians. Now, they're Christians that needed some sort of encouragement, or they needed a boost, or they needed to be corrected or something like that. I just wonder if we think we're reaching out more than we actually are. How do you feel about that? Because I want to say, yeah, Trackstarz helps people, and people have been saved because of destinations and FMG and, you know, poems that I've written and stuff. I don't know if I could honestly say that.
You might not be able to honestly say that, but I think we have helped in walks. You know, I think we've helped some lukewarm Christians come to a better place. I know Destinations did that for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Destinations, you go in, you see a bunch of cool kids. I'm just talking from like a high school standpoint. A bunch of cool kids living for Christ, doing the right thing, and it makes you want to be like, man, yeah.
But one, even back in Destination, if you don't know about Destinations, go to our YouTube page, and there's a Destinations playlist that you could look at some old Destinations performances. And the premise of Destinations, it was spoken word at the core, but we also did hip hop and acting and stuff like that. But it was just a room full of people that wanted to hear us do stuff, and it was topic based and all that. And we I remember us always saying that most of our audience weren't Christians. I remember us saying that. That we were reaching out, that people who weren't Christians were coming to our show. I don't know if that's accurate.
I mean, you was the leader.
I know, but I mean,
how
can I know that for sure? You know what I mean? Like
comments. I mean, I guess when people were making those comments.
Guess, but I just wonder, not just us, but I wonder if Christians as a whole assume. Let's just talk about our world, the Christian urban world. I wonder if we assume that our songs and our, radio shows and our magazines and all this stuff is really reaching out. I do think it's pulling people in that are kind of wandering, but they're already saved, maybe. But are we actually getting people saved with the stuff that we're working on?
So you kind of, it's almost like you're having a debate. Is it better to heal the body or grow the body?
Well, see, because I believe that certain people are called to do one or the other, right? So Paul was called to be sent out, right? And he was able to get a lot of people saved. Yeah. Like, legit, I didn't know Jesus until you talked to me, saved.
Conversion.
Versus Christians who were just kind of like lukewarm or needed a kick in the butt. He did that too, but he was successful at reaching. You see what I'm saying?
I think he had both. Like, he did both very well. I mean, you think about the churches in Revelation where he's giving them a letter telling them certain churches to get right, do this, do that. So he was both like healing people and touching them and you know what I'm saying, different things of that nature. But he was both. He reached and he built. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just wondering if we think we're reaching as much as we actually are. I believe that we're helping other Christians.
I think it's a little bit harder because we live in the South. I think if we live in New York, New Jersey, up north, where other religions are not everybody know who Jesus is. Not everybody has ever been to a church before. I think when you come down here, you can meet people that's doing XYZ and they say they're a Christian.
So you're saying closer to the Bible Belt, basically.
I think because we live in a Bible Belt, everybody claims Christianity. But if you leave here and you go up, like I said, to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, I'm just talking about the places that I'm originally from. Everybody there is not a church kid. Some kids has never been to the church in their life.
Here's what I'll say. My observation, I know people aren't going to agree with this. I think that Christian hip-hop is reaching out. I think gospel music is not. I think gospel music only caters to Christians. I really do. I really do. Because I don't see them trying to break away from that. You know what I mean? Like take Lecrae, for instance. He was trying to break away when he did Church Clothes. He was trying to break away when he did 106 in Park. Not say break away, but not be confined to a...
he's trying to reach in places...
A stereotype. Yeah, he's trying to break away from a stereotype of where we got to be in Christian venues and we got to be on Christian TV shows. We got to be on TBN. We can't go outside of TBN.
He's a prime example of both. Like, I'm sure if you told Lecrae he has a Christian festival to do next week, he's not going to turn that down. Right. But also, if you tell him he has 106 in Park next week as well, he's going to do both. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I don't necessarily know if I can even say that I know a gospel artist that has really tried to do that, or if they have tried to do that.
I would say the closest Kirk. Because Silver and Gold back in the day was playing on regular... No, I'm serious. Silver and Gold was playing on regular stations. And then, remember when Stomp happened...
Well, we're not talking about regular stations.
Here's my question. Even if it's played on regular stations, are we assuming just because it's being played on a secular station that people are catching the Holy Ghost at home and becoming Christians? Are we assuming that we're doing more than we actually are doing? And the reason I'm saying that is... I think sometimes, and I think we're guilty of this as well, is that we're doing something in a room that's reaching people in other countries. We could just sit here and talk about stuff, or we could sit in a booth and do a song and press it and send it out to a bunch of places, and we're counting that as witnessing. And we're not actually doing the, hey, what's your name? Yeah. Do you know Jesus? Let me tell you about him. He died on the cross, paid for your sins, rose again. Do you want to get saved? Yes, you do. Let me walk you through the prayer. Let me make sure you understand what you're doing. The actual one-on-one or one-on-a-few witnessing, I think we're thinking this replaces that, and I don't think this is doing as much as we think it is.
But do you think like... is that effective too? Honestly, like if we go downtown and people are like, you giving out tracts or you talking to people and they're like, I like the church thing, but not, you know what I'm saying? Like, because rejection is rejection. I think if it's in the form of a CD or mouth to mouth, it's rejection.
Well, I think when we went out and fed the homeless, we actually had the call and the prayer for salvation. So I really think what Sean is saying is that you can't substitute witnessing and winning souls to Christ when you are physically doing that one-on-one with somebody, as opposed to putting out a radio show. And, you know, even if we prayed at the end of every show and we asked people, if you don't know Jesus Christ, you know, come to the Lord through this prayer, would we really be...
So that's what we're going to start doing instead of 2x2?
I guarantee you there's some people out there that think we should have already been doing that.
Yeah, but even in that case, even if... I just wonder if this virtual form of witnessing where we're not looking at anybody in the face and we're just assuming somebody's sitting at home listening to it and they're just like, oh yeah, I agree with everything they're saying. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to kneel down next to my bed and ask Jesus to come to my heart. I wonder if we think that happens more than it actually does. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying somebody don't listen to a Lecrae CD and say they need Jesus and they get saved. I think we think it happens a lot. I don't know if it's actually happening.
Honestly, I don't even think like that happens. I think a lot of people do a lot of seed throwing. I don't think... No, seriously, I think a lot of people... What I mean by that is, like, you get somebody's CD. Like, okay, prime example, if I gave you gave a friend a CD they don't know how to get saved. There's no instructions of salvation. So it's just the seeds of that the album.
What if we found out today that all of our songs, all of our albums, all of our shows that we've done so far, not one single person has gotten saved?
But what if we found out that somebody got their relationship with Christ closer?
And that's fine. But let's just be honest. Like, what if we found out that not one single person has made the decision to accept Jesus Christ into their life? Now, helping Christians is good. That's fine. But we're not saying that that's what we're doing. When we start this show and when we cut records and we write lyrics, we say that we're trying to help people get saved. We say that.
Sounds like Shantana just came up with another survey for us.
I'm just asking.
Who has been saved by the Trackstarz?
No, seriously, and I was gonna ask that at the end, like, not just the Trackstarz. Have you listened to? Were you not a Christian? Then you listen to Christian hip hop, or you listen to the radio show, or you watch Jam the Hype, or you looked at Rapzilla. I'm being real, and you listen to a Humble Beast record, or you listen to WLAK, or you listen to Reflect Music Group, or you listen to Clear Sight. I'm serious. Like, are we actually doing what we think we're doing with this?
I think at the end of the day, we can't say yay, we can't say no.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. I feel like what we do is we may or may not be, but let's just do it anyway and hope it works. Versus actually saying,
but that's like
asking and finding out for sure.
But that's like giving somebody a track. That's like you giving somebody a track.
When's the last time you did it?
I don't know. The last time I gave somebody a track. I can't remember the last time.
Well,
but what I'm saying is it's almost of when you give somebody a track, if they choose to read it or not. Like, if you give somebody a track today and they just throw it in their car, and then one day they're driving, why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at something you said.
Oh, so if they driving in another day, or something happened to them where they like, man, I really need God in my life, and they find that track, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just wonder if we're doing the online dating version of witnessing, where I'm not confident or bold enough to ask you directly out. So I'm going to do it virtually, anonymously, kind of like just...
and I'm asleep good.
If you don't want it, that's fine. I'll just delete that connection and I'll create another. Is it easier but without the results?
Got you. Can you handle that though? What? Can somebody just telling you no straight to your face?
What if that's what it takes? What if it's like, yes, we've gone out as a team and we've asked people, do you want to get saved? And they said no.
Yeah.
But then you go ask somebody else. Like, that's the whole point of it, is some people are going to say no. Some people told Paul and Peter and them no. Yeah. But then some people said yes. And depending on your worldview, whether you're Calvinist or Arminian or whatever, either that person wasn't meant to say yes, or that person was meant to say yes, or that person didn't do whatever it needs to do in their heart to accept Jesus. Whatever it is, you still have to try. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're basically saying all this stuff that we're doing is replacing physical witnessing.
I just wonder if we have switched to online dating and we think because we're getting a lot of likes on our profile that somebody's actually interested in us or in the God that we serve. Just because you get likes don't mean somebody actually want to know you.
You're right.
How surprised would you be if you found someone wrote you and said that they got saved from a line for line?
That would be amazing, or noteworthy, or whatever. Like, and this would be better. Like, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there because I think sometimes our attitude as ministers, as artists, or as radio people, or as magazines, or writers, or whatever, I think sometimes we can get caught in that virtual witnessing trap. But I would love to find out that what if it's the opposite? What if tons of people that we will never know until we get to heaven were saved because of what we were doing in this room for 8 years now? We've been sitting in, not this room, but kind of in a room with us for 8 years. What if when we get to heaven we find out there's a ton of people that actually decided to follow Jesus because of the sacrifice we made here? That would be awesome. But I don't want to just pretend it's happening and not
so you
know
need
for
results.
sure.
That's what you say.
I just want to know, like, are we fooling ourselves? Are we pretending stuff is happening that's not really happening? That's all. I mean, maybe the best way to ask it. Get on Twitter, tweet the Trackstarz. It doesn't have to be us. Lecrae. It could have been Cannon. It could have been Braille. It could have been Rapzilla. It could have been Wado. It could have been DJ Will. It could have been whoever it was that you weren't a Christian and you became a Christian. You weren't saved and you became saved because of something you saw or you listened to or you watched. I just want to know. Or are we ministering to each other and helping each other become better Christians?
I think that's what me and you clash, because I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
But that's not what we said we were doing. We can do that. That's fine. But we didn't say we were doing the show to help Christians be better Christians. We said we were doing the show. We said we were doing FMG because we wanted to reach people and pull them into the kingdom.
Yeah.
That was the point. So I just want to know what it is.
Now the question is, what if we're doing it and people just like it? Like, I've heard that before, where somebody's like, well, I like the music, but I'm not accepting Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
But I'm saying is that could be used. This show, whatever show, whoever show, music, whatever, can be used to somebody. Could be like, you listening to, like, I mean, I've heard people say that they listening to somebody that they've never listened to before, rap or Christian hip hop or whatever, and they became a Christian after the fact.
Yeah, like a gateway. We're the seed and somebody else waters. That's fine. We can assume that's happening for the rest of our lives.
I'm not saying it.
I just don't know if it is happening. That's the only thing.
Sean, this is Camille. I wanted to say something real quick. You are like me, where you want to see results. You want to see what's the update, what happened to that person. Sometimes you will never know who you've touched, and you just got to trust God that what you're saying is blessing others, and you may not never ever know. You're planting a seed, and maybe they hear it and they're like, I don't care what you had to say, but then they hear it again from someone else, or they decide to go to church when they're like, oh, someone did say something about that, and it touched their lives at a different time. Line for Line is another example. Think of this as like on online tracks. Someone might like it, not like it. It's just up to God touching their lives, not you. Not noteworthy. It's a platform, but sometimes you can't see or whatever God's doing in their life.
Yeah, and that's what we believe, and that's why we do it. That's why we actually do it. Everything Camille just said is the purpose of what we're doing. We know that nothing we do specifically is going to actually help anybody. I just wonder, and not to get any kind of credit or not to feel like we're doing anything big, I just wonder if we're being lazy as far as like the whole online thing. Like, I just wonder if we're being lazy, not actually talking directly to people and using this as a substitute for not wanting to be rejected.
Okay, so would you be fine if we're trying? I mean, because we're not hot in the States like that. But what if we're impacting people overseas more than we are here?
It could be. And like I said, regardless of what the answer is, it's not like we're going to stop. I just want to know. I just want to know if maybe this is not for everybody. Maybe this is just for a couple people. I just want to know, are we doing this really, really to help people, or do we just like rapping? Do we really, really want to help people, or we just like being number one on iTunes? Do we really, really want to help people, or do we just want to see our likes go up and our followers go up? I'm just asking, because you don't know. You don't know everybody's motives in this, and it's just checking my own motives. Do we need to do something differently, or just keep doing it and just assume it's working?
Well, I like rapping and seeing myself as number one. So
I think part of the ministry of J-Dot is that we would do more with more time and more donations. You know what I mean? Like, if we have opportunities to go out and feed the homeless, and it's not something that takes away from, our mortgages and our bills and things like that, we would be doing it more face to face. I think that we get stuck trying to get around the obstacles that have us kind of pigeonholed right now. Because we've talked about this before. I said, I feel bad sometimes when I wake up on a Saturday morning and I'm just cooking breakfast and watching TV and waiting on Trackstarz when I wanted to be, had a vision to be underneath a bridge and leading a homeless person to Christ. But it's not necessarily what I'm able to do because I'm a husband, because I have a small child, to put myself out there in a situation where I don't know
and your wife,
if it's dangerous or not.
You put your baby girl on your back. And your wife.
I just and you saying that makes sense. I just wonder if Jesus is gonna be okay with mortgages and cable bills and all that being an excuse not to help.
What about jobs? What about on your job? Have you witnessed anybody on your job? Have you talked to anybody on your job? Because we always assuming, oh man, I got to go hit the streets, I got to hit the pavement. And God is like, I put you right here for a reason.
Yeah,
I get in too much trouble at my job for me to try to do anything out.
No, and I have, but again, it's just a reminder. Like we just gotta make sure that this is all for the right reason. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, man, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.